This is Secure Payments' Business Class Podcast. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's having a great Friday. I'm having a glorious Friday. Like and subscribe, and thanks for being a part of the creative process. I feel delicious, productive, energized, profitable. Yes. I said delicious. I really do. I feel great. I'm having a great Friday. Lately in the news, there's been this, the headlines has been the drop in funding for, education. Because in America, you have like this government, big government, that provides funding for the states to educate the majority of students, but it hasn't been working. So now they're like, hey, like Google does when things don't work out after like 3 or 4 years, 5 years. We're gonna stop with Google Plus. We're gonna end that. So yeah, that's what the federal government's doing. I think it's a brilliant thing, mainly because education is a delicate thing, and although there may be some who do a really good job at getting the students, prepared, the majority they ain't really doing a good job. And it's and because of the federal government, because there was such a big funding or reasons to send your kids to public school. Now it opened up the competition for more realistic curriculum-based education. Like, this is Secure Payments, more in-depth, realistic, or if not to use the word realistic, more in-tuned, in-lined forms of education that will meet the needs of the future generations. This is Secure Payments. I don't know, just thinking about education makes me think about all the millions and billions of people who were on this planet before us, who either had information on how to do other things and or didn't have any information at all on how to do or achieve any of the things that we've achieved so far. So for me, I think that's incredible. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't need, no offense, which I don't know why I'm saying no offense. I'm not offending myself. This is Secure Payments. I just feel like, as far as education goes, I've seen a lot of people who just don't know half of the things that I may know, but it doesn't prevent them from making a living, providing for their family, and so I'm not saying that education doesn't work or something like that, because of course education works, but it's the type of education, it's the direction. And with the education being handed over to the states, I think the states will probably more than likely adapt some different curriculums. Also, a lot of schools are going to be closing down, so I'm going to be buying some schools. This is Secure Payments. I was like, okay, go to some of these old towns, go to some of these towns, buy these schools. Now I got a school and make the whole thing Uber digital, TVs everywhere, solar panels everywhere, cameras everywhere, and it'd be like 24-hour streaming, live school, pay for the subscription. If you are low income and you live in the area, you get all of this information for free. It'll be like a YouTube subscription. So like I'll buy the school in the town, and all the kids get to go to it for free, of course. This is secure payments, or at a very, very low discount. So they like a sliding scale. But it'd be so good. Like, it's like, wow, I can't believe this is free, But it's just like, because the federal government is no longer involved in the funding, and the states, they don't really care. And it's not like the states is saying, hey, you can't educate our students. That just opens it up, you know what I'm saying? That opens it up for greater competition. People who actually want to like see some change in education. I think it's gonna actually happen now, because Linda finna go in there and just and break it all down, and for the longest time it just hasn't worked, and it's just been like a lot of scratch my back, I scratch yours, and you write these textbooks or whatever. So the textbook industry, that's gonna, I'm not gonna say, I've held on to my textbooks, for the past decade, because I haven't. This is secure payments, and I'm not gonna say that they haven't been beneficial, but we see how technology has advanced, and the textbooks kind of just like stayed the same, like how long it took for them to release a textbook, versus how long did it take for them to send out a new patch on Facebook, or a new patch on Instagram, or a new patch on TikTok. Those things they don't take that long before the whole entire algorithm has changed, and you learned, in a 15-minute death scroll, more than you've learned in a year in the 4th grade, And then these children I got like a nephew, he's like 4 years old, and he's just addicted to the iPad. And then you go to school, and then, a public school, and they say, oh, you can't bring your iPad, you can't bring your laptop. Like, they are behind. Not only are they behind, there's so much regulations on, oh, you can't do this, or you can't teach students this, can't teach students that. I honestly, it may sound bad, but it's like the best thing ever to like just dismantle that, scale back, and kind of figure out, where do we go next with education? And the states are gonna have to hire if they want to have longevity. If you are a state representative, this is secure payments. If you're a state's representative, governor or congressperson or whatever, you must care about the education of your constituents. And if you don't, you're more than likely going to get voted out. And of course, who wants to be the leader of a state where all your constituents and the people that you're representing are not smart or are not educated? That's a risk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't think it's a risk because they don't know anything. No, when they're like, let me tell you something. Ignorant people, people who are ignorant, are very innovative in a lot of ways. Like, the people who just don't have the knowledge on how to do things, they'll figure out a way to do it, and then they'll circumvent what it is that is in alignment with your state. This is secure payment. So my overall point is, states are going to have to hire consultants. They're going to have to hire some people who actually have some curriculum development experiences, like secure payments. This is secure payments. Like, when I lived in Thailand, one of my jobs when working at the university was to build the curriculum. I was building the curriculum for 6 separate courses. So like, I had to merge them all together, and I did a great job, by the way. And then I realized, I was like, whoa, I did something incredible. Like, I literally merged all 6 of these courses because I was like, I got them all at different times. They're all similar but not the same. So I have to build and make it merge and not overwork my teaching. So like I'm teaching them all the same kind of things, but just different in a way. So it's like under one umbrella. Like it's business, and under this business umbrella, there's marketing, there's management, there's supply chain, there's supply chain management. So I kind of taught all of that, and that's like my curriculum style. This is secure payments. So I'm kind of excited to see. I know it's going to be rough for a lot of people who depend heavily on the government to educate their students. But like this is an eye opener to a lot of people that says, hey, look, the government, it's not the government's job to educate your children. This is Secure Payments' business class podcast. It's not the government's job to educate your children. I went to public school. Look. I know. I went to public school in a few different states, and I experienced the education system, and it's just like, whoa. And you get frustrated because it's like you want to change things, and then they have like these grants, like teach grants and different things like that. Like let's say you want to go get your master's degree in America. This is Secure Payments. You want to go get your master's degree in America, you can get what is called a teach grant, and if you don't pay it back, they force you to work in like a low income school area or whatever. It's great. It's a real thing. Like they force you to work in like a low income public school area where like it lacks funding. Like not only is low income, and low income means like it's probably, there's a 9 times out of 10 that it may be a little bit more troublesome than normal schools with people who actually have resources. So you're going to a school that doesn't have adequate resources to pay for a grant that from an institution that kind of perpetuates the same messages. It's weird. Like, so my overall point is I'm curious to see how the dismantling of the education funding going to the states is going to pan out. But I'm optimistic about the direction of it. I'm optimistic that there will be some greater competition in like, hey, we can educate you on this, instead of having like a general and somewhat useless or wasteful educational curriculum. This curriculum is a lot more in tune with the future and in alignment with what's actually going on in the world today. So yeah, this has been Secure Payments' business class podcast. I feel good about that educational talk because it was on my mind for a while, and I was like, I really want to talk about this because I'm actually optimistic about, it may seem like a negative, but I'm optimistic about what will come about, what will happen after this. So yeah, I'm excited to see it all. Anyway, this has been Secure Payments' business class podcast. Like and subscribe. Thanks for being a part of the creative process. Have a great rest of your Friday. Peace.